Warning, this full day of eating may be the most depressing video that I have ever made. I am sad just sitting here thinking about how little food I get to eat right now, but maybe you will be able to find joy in watching my misery. On a less depressing note, I just launched a community on School where I will be posting at minimum 5 educational videos per week that will not be seen anywhere else, along with exclusive Q&As, form checks, and much more. So be sure to sign up before the introductory pricing expires. With that plug out of the way, let's get into meal one, which is breakfast. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but nothing screams living the dream like staring deeply into the eyes of the old man on the Quaker logo, watching his handkerchief blow in the wind. Poured myself 35 grams of these sweet, sweet quick oats, which I took my sweet, sweet time pouring because I was trying to be as precise as I possibly could, knowing that this was going to be on camera. After successfully measuring my oats, I went over to the sink and very imprecisely added approximately the amount of water that would give me the desired oat texture that I so desired. Pop those suckers straight into the microwave for 1 minute and 18 seconds because square microwave numbers are no fun, and I patiently waited while making myself coffee. After pulling the now warm and tender oats out of the microwave, I went over to the pantry, grabbed a jug of MRE, which I realized was frightfully empty, and put in 3 whole servings of it to give me my allotted protein for the meal. I then topped it off by adding some almond butter. Pro tip, if you are measuring something that likes to live in its container, it's better to weigh the container, remove the thing that likes to live in the container, then reweigh the container to determine how much you are getting. After that, I sat down on the couch, stirred it all up, and put on my favorite YouTube program.
Map men, map men, map men.
The macros for meal one were 39 grams of carbs, 17 grams of fat, and 80 grams of protein for 626 calories. And after wolfing that bad boy down, I headed upstairs for a short break to actually do productive things with my life. After momentarily freeing myself from the ever so treacherous task of online powerlifting coaching, I headed downstairs for meal two, which necessarily needed to be a short one because my mornings are scheduled very tightly. So forgive me because meal two is just a protein shake. So I loaded up another 3 servings of MRE Light, which proved more difficult than I had anticipated because we were very low on MRE Light protein powder, and I had to scrunch through 3 different bottles to get to my wonderful 3 servings. After scooping the protein powder into the blender bottle, I added an adequate amount of water, went shake, 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 closed the lid. Opened the lid because I was shaking it with a closed lid, not an open lid. That would have been very bad to shake it with an open lid. But once the lid was opened, I went chug, 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 and it was absolutely delicious for a macro count of 12 grams of carbohydrates, 6 grams of fat, and 72 grams of protein for a grand total of 402 calories for meal number 2. Back upstairs for more work. I returned downstairs for meal 3, which was thankfully, finally, real food in the form of chopped up bison round steaks, which are extremely lean, probably about as lean as you can get for a red meat. And even though it is a round, because it is grass-fed bison, it is ridiculously tender and ridiculously delicious. I swear this is not a plug for my parents' bison farm, but if you do want meat from them, you know where to find them. They don't ship though, so you gotta be local. Tossed in the 270 grams of the bison steak into the bowl, added some frozen veggies so that Joel does not bully me for catching scurvy again, and then I plopped those suckers into the microwave. After removing it from the microwave, I added a good amount of sriracha as well as a good amount of salt, and then I sat down and woofed that thing down because I was a very hungry boy at this stage of the morning. And macro total for meal 3, 12 grams of carbohydrates, 7 grams of fats, 59 grams of protein for a grand total of 370 calories. Meal 4 of the day is going to be kind of an embarrassing one because remember, at meal 2, I realized that I was out of protein powder. So, in order to get more protein powder for the next day, I had to go to the supplement store to buy more protein powder. But because I bought more protein powder, that meant that I did not have time to have a real meal for meal number 4. So, I had to have another protein powder meal. And because the supplement store did not have my beloved MRE Light, I had to settle for Seed Bum Isolate, which I prayed would not make me poop myself. Spoiler alert, it did. Anyways, I figured out the math that would give me an approximate equivalent amount of protein from the CBUM as I was getting from my MRE Light. I scooped it into the shaker bottle, I filled it up with an adequate amount of water, and once again, I went shake, 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 and then chug, 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 chug. I was pleasantly surprised by the non-meaty aftertaste due to CBUM being a whey isolate, whereas MRE Light is animal-based protein powder. Icky, icky, yuck, yuck. MRE Light does not make me poop myself, so the flavor is made up for by the lack of pooping. Oh, and I almost forgot. Macros for the CBUM, 9 grams of carbohydrates, 0 grams of fat, according to MyFitnessPal. I'm too lazy to go downstairs to look at the label, so please forgive me for that. And 75 grams of protein for a grand total of, allow me to check my notes, 330 calories. On to meal number 5, which was once again less embarrassing because it was an exact repeat of meal number 2, but we're going to go through it again because I filmed the footage and I don't want to waste it. So I loaded up 270 grams of the bison steak. I almost ran out of the bison steak and I was kind of getting nervous that I was going to, but thankfully I did not. Then I tossed in the frozen vegetables because once again, I do not want to catch scurvy. And I again tossed it into the microwave, only to pull it out once again and once again add in a good amount of sriracha and a good amount of salt. And once again, I woofed that sucker down because I was extremely hungry at this point. The macros are the same, but I'm going to put them up on the screen again anyways. And for the final meal of the day, it was another almost repeat of meal 3 and meal 5 because instead of round, we had ground round. That rhymed. It's like I'm a poet and I almost didn't even realize. I wasn't going to rhyme again. Sorry. Anyways, I loaded up the 270 grams of the ground round bison into my bowl to add in a serving of frozen mixed vegetables. Upon again microwaving them for a amount of time that made it way too freaking hot because I forgot to calculate that the ground round was fresh out of the Instapot and it almost burnt my little fingers off pulling the thing out of the microwave oven. I then added in a good amount of sriracha as well as a good amount of salt for a grand macro total of, oh yeah, it's the same macros because it's the same freaking thing once again, 12 grams of carbohydrates, 7 grams of fat, and 59 grams of protein for 370 calories. So yeah, that's what I'm eating on a low day right now. It kind of sucks. I am a hungry boy, and just be mindful that I also have medium days and high days with slightly more carbohydrates, but I still am a hungry boy. And if you do not want to do the math on your own, that means that I am currently eating 2,083 calories per day with 83 grams of carbs, 38 grams of fat, and 345 grams of protein. And comment section, I don't want to hear that that is too much protein. I'm aware of what the nerdy recommendations are. I don't give a shit because I just don't give a shit. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out those links below to sign up for the school community before that introductory price gets bumped on up. Peace out. Have a good rest of your night.